Yo, we got the real reason Tupac almost got fired from the set of the movie Juice. This video comes us from Primetime Throwback. I'll leave the link in the description as always. But if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Y'all know how we do it. We get right into it. Let's go.
We went from the cops
going to the gun.
Why should he hold on to the gun? Because I already got it.
Did you know that this iconic confrontation almost never happened? They tried to replace Tupac. The gun went missing. The ending was changed. And still, Juice became a classic. The role Tupac was never meant to play. The truth is, Tupac wasn't even supposed to be in the audition room that day. He only landed the role after walking a friend, Money B from Digital Underground, into the audition.
Yo, Money B. I just did a reaction to Money B interview. I'll leave the link up there in the corner, you see it. But yeah, so what happened to Money B being in the movie? Was he supposed to be Bishop? Like, I couldn't even picture that. You know, let's get back to it though.
Tupac wasn't on the call sheet, but while waiting, he casually read Bishop's lines with Money B and stunned the casting team so much that they asked him to audition on the spot. That impromptu moment changed the trajectory of his entire career. When cinematographer Ernest Dickerson stepped behind the camera for his directorial debut in 1991, he wasn't just making another hood film. He was documenting a warning, one inspired by a real-life shooting that had shaken him years earlier in his own neighborhood. Why Puffy was rejected for Bishop.
Whoa! Shut the front door! Wow. I'm glad that they made that swap. Everybody should be thinking, man, wow. Could you imagine the Diddler playing Bishop? Wow, that shit would have went a whole different way.
For 9 long years, Dickerson's script bounced between studios, collecting rejection letters.
This Dickerson guy, I'm not familiar with him, but he look a lot like Michael Eric Dyson, don't you think?
They originally suggested turning it into a comedy, even proposing Cosby Show star Malcolm Jamal Warner for a lead role. Dickerson refused, fighting to maintain the raw, unflinching vision that had driven him to write the story in the first place. When a young Sean Puffy Combs auditioned for the role of Bishop, he was quickly rejected. Studio executives saw something dangerous and unpredictable in another young actor, a relatively unknown rapper named Tupac Shakur. But what they didn't know was that Tupac's intensity was precisely what the film needed. Why Tupac almost got fired. This character is Tupac, Dickerson reportedly told producers who were concerned about the rapper's behavior. You don't fire the storm, you film it. That decision would prove prophetic. Halfway through filming, producers seriously considered replacing Tupac after conflicts arose on set.
Who is this guy? Is he supposed to be a producer or something? Because he look a lot like Steel. He look like Steel and got about 49 years old. He looks nice though, I mean, no homo.
Set. His intensity was concerning. Some crew members complained he was difficult to work with, but Dickerson stood firm, recognizing that the raw energy Tupac brought to Bishop wasn't just acting, it was a channeling of something real and visceral. What's even more fascinating is how Tupac transformed the character from the page to the screen. In early drafts of the script, Bishop was written as a generic bad influence character, a troublemaker without much depth. But when Tupac stepped in, he rebuilt the character from the ground up, infusing Bishop with trauma, paranoia, and moral complexity that wasn't in the original screenplay. The words that were never written. Dickerson made the unusual decision to let Tupac and Omar Epps ad-lib many of their exchanges, as the original script contained slang that had become outdated during the 9 years the project sat in development. This improvisation is why their conversations feel so authentic. They were essentially rewriting the script in real time, speaking in their own voices. If you've ever seen the official poster for Juice, you might notice something missing: a gun. The original promotional materials featured Bishop holding his revolver, but Paramount executives, concerned about glorifying violence, airbrushed the weapon out at the last minute.
I don't think it needs to have a gun. That would have been, stereotyping it. That movie was about more than just a gun and somebody getting shot. And that would have pigeonholed it. Ain't no guns on the cover of Boys in the Hood. I don't recall seeing no guns on the cover of the Men's Society. Somebody check me on that, though. I can't, it's been a long time. Check me on that. Leave me a comment.
This wasn't just an aesthetic choice. It represented the studio's deep anxiety about the film's raw portrayal of urban violence when the gun went missing on set. Speaking of that gun, the revolver used in the film was a real decommissioned weapon with the firing pin removed. During production, it went missing for 48 hours, causing panic among the crew. Though eventually recovered, the incident highlighted just how fragile and under-resourced the production was, operating on a tight $5 million budget. To stretch those limited funds, Dickerson made a daring choice that contributed to the film's documentary-like authenticity. Several scenes were shot guerrilla-style in Harlem without proper permits. Dickerson later admitted they stole these shots, blending with foot traffic and using hidden cameras. Harlem wasn't just a setting, it was a character. This wasn't just any Harlem either. It was early 1990s Harlem, a neighborhood in the grip of the crack epidemic, where tensions ran high and opportunities ran low. The real streets where they filmed didn't just provide a backdrop, they provided the visceral energy that pulses through every frame of the film. Local residents would sometimes watch filming, their reactions captured in real time, blurring the line between actor and observer, fiction and reality. The scenes so dark Paramount made them change it. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of Tupac's portrayal of Bishop is how seriously he took the psychological toll of the role. According to Money B of Digital Underground, Tupac wrote a poem titled Bishop Lives after filming Wrapped, a piece meant to process the darkness he had absorbed during production. Though never officially published, Tupac reportedly read it to friends during a freestyle session.
Tupac had a book of poetry, didn't he? Tupac had a whole book of poetry that was published, but they still never said what happened to Money B. What was his role? Did he stick around for filming? I'm sure he had other shit to do. What happened there?
Describing the poem as therapy for carrying a ghost. This psychological depth manifested in one of the film's most interesting creative decisions, an alternate ending that was filmed but never used. In this version, Bishop actively chooses to fall to his death rather than accept Q's help, a reflection of the character's inability to live with what he's become. Test audiences found this ending too disturbing, leading to the slightly more ambiguous conclusion in the final cut. Why Juice changed the game for rap stars in film. The impact of Juice extended far beyond its modest commercial success. While it grossed roughly $20 million against its $5 million budget, respectable but not spectacular, its cultural footprint proved far more significant. The film helped launch what industry insiders would later call rapper realism, a subgenre that proved hip-hop artists could carry serious dramatic roles. While Boys in the Hood is often credited with pioneering hood cinema, it was Juice that established the template for integrating authentic hip-hop culture into film narratives. Tupac's breakthrough performance directly influenced later casting choices, from DMX in Belly to 50 Cent in Get Rich or Die Tryin'.
Hold up. Wasn't it his movie, though? That was the name of his album. I thought the whole movie was his brainchild. So how they gonna... Anyway, let's get back into it.
Studios began actively recruiting rap artists for dramatic roles, recognizing the authentic cultural connection they brought to these stories. For the young cast, Juice represented a launching pad to stardom. It marked the first film roles for Tupac, Omar Epps, and Khalil Kain. But their path to the screen wasn't smooth. Each had to fight for their opportunity. Epps was working at a Foot Locker when he landed the role of Q, while Tupac was primarily known as a dancer for Digital Underground, not yet established as a solo artist. A real rooftop in Harlem inspired the final scene. The rooftop confrontation wasn't a random setting. It was chosen because of a real story Dickerson remembered from his youth. A young man had died on that exact rooftop during a standoff in the 1970s. Dickerson never forgot it. That location to him symbolized choices, whether to pull someone up or let them fall. Soundtrack success that almost didn't happen.
Why they use this? That's crazy. The same rooftop? I mean, did it have to be the exact same one? You know? That do add something to it, though. I can't deny, but that's crazy.
Location to him symbolized choices, whether to pull someone up or let them fall. Soundtrack success that almost didn't happen. The film's soundtrack also deserves recognition as a cultural artifact. Released in 1991, it featured a who's who of hip-hop talent, including Naughty by Nature, who invited Tupac to appear in their video for Uptown Anthem. But initially, Paramount wasn't planning to release a soundtrack at all, including Naughty by Nature, who invited Tupac to appear in their video for Uptown Anthem. But initially, Paramount wasn't planning to release a soundtrack at all, believing the film's music wouldn't have commercial appeal beyond the urban market. It was only after Dickerson partnered with MCA Records executive Lewis Silas Jr. that the soundtrack was greenlit, eventually becoming a gold-certified release that outlived the film's theatrical run. The filmmaking technique that changed everything. Another overlooked aspect of Juice is its revolutionary cinematography. While Dickerson was primarily known as Spike Lee's cinematographer, he brought a distinctive visual language to Juice that had never been seen before in urban cinema. He used a technique called subjective camera during Bishop's violent episodes, where the camera subtly shifts perspective to put viewers inside Bishop's mind. This effect wasn't just stylistic, it was psychological, making audiences complicit in Bishop's descent into madness. This technique has since been adopted by countless filmmakers but was considered groundbreaking in 1992. The video store scene that predicted Tupac's future. In one of the film's most chilling coincidences, there's a scene where Bishop walks past a video store with a poster showing a man with his hands up, foreshadowing both the film's ending and, in a tragic twist of fate, Tupac's own future. Some film scholars have noted that this unintentional visual parallel feels almost prophetic given the circumstances of Tupac's death 4 years later. Dickerson has confirmed this was completely unplanned, just one of those eerie cinematic accidents that seems charged with meaning in retrospect. Bishop was never just a villain, he was a warning. And Tupac carried that ghost with him long after the camera stopped.
Yeah, some people believe that Tupac got into this character of Bishop during the making of Juice, and he never broke that character. Like, he stayed in character for the next till he died in real life. That's what a lot of people have always been skeptical of. Some of the people that knew him behind the scenes before the fame, some people say that once he played Bishop, that was it. You know, that was him. He kept that thing going, and so, you know, I wish they would have went a little more into Q relationship with old girl. It's a little bit deeper, you know, show a little bit more on that tip, but still was a great movie, man. I probably know it word for word. I ain't gonna hold you. If you made it this far, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.